Now more on the financial forecast for students. Look who's back, Dave Skirman from First Ontario. A new season of Finance Fridays. This is your 15th year doing it?
Well, you know, time flies when you're having fun, Annette. It's hard to believe. Hard to believe.
Okay, and we're starting off with advice for students, especially those who are living away from home for the very first time. You've got maybe all this money. You have no idea how to spend it.
No, you know, I talk to a lot of post-secondary students. In fact, I do a podcast at Brock University hosted by students on how to manage their personal finances. And they continue to say year after year after year that they're not prepared to manage their money out of school. Schools do a really good job of preparing them academically to be successful, but probably schools still have a failing grade in terms of preparing kids financially to how to, you know, get through life managing their money.
Well, I think a lot of adults have problems with that too.
Absolutely, and again, it starts in school, so we need to do a better job, obviously, in school. But and unfortunately, a lot of people, students and adults included, learn the hard way.
Okay, so budgeting is.
Yeah, budgeting is the key. Whether you know, it's you and I, working and paying mortgages, or students try to managing their money. Budgeting is really the key. It sounds simple, but it's the key, because you know, unless you have copious amounts of money or you're earning more money than your expenses, you've got to plan for the amount of money that you have. So for students, the advice I give them is to plan really for two different pieces of money. One is the big items, so your tuition, your room and board if you're living away from home, your textbooks, and those are typically paid once or twice a year, January and September. And then the most difficult part, and this is the part that students have the real issue with, is their spending money. So what I suggest there is take your spending money, put it in a separate account, take the amount of money that you have for the year. Let's say, for an example, you have $2,000 for spending money for the year. There's 15 weeks in each semester, so 30 weeks. Divide it by your $2,000, you've got $66 a week to spend. So that's the amount to spend. Don't spend more than that, or you're going to come short. And then keep track of it. Keep track of what you're spending so you know where your money's going.
Right, but for many first time, especially if it's a first time living on campus or living away from home for the first time, it's like, oh, I've got all these things I can do without mom or dad there, and you think you've got money, but
No, for sure. And then there's some little tips like, you know, if you're living in residence and you have a meal plan, all of a sudden you see a kid off at McDonald's for lunch or doing something, you're basically wasting your meal plan money.
Exactly.
And Forbes did a study and showed that it costs about 5 times on average more for a restaurant meal than it does to prepare it at home. So again, Starbucks coffee. You know, if you get your $66 a week to spend and you're dropping into Starbucks 2 or 3 times, you're probably not getting out of there without spending $10. So there's half of your weekly allowance. Make your coffee at home. Take it with you. You talked about textbooks. Buy used textbooks rather than new textbooks. Another thing that kids are doing now, and it's really, really smart, share textbooks. So find a classmate that's in the same course as you are. I mean, you're taking 4 or 5 classes, so you're only going to need a textbook for a class once or twice a week. So share the textbooks. I get it Tuesday and Thursday. You get it Monday and Wednesday.
Okay, and now credit cards. It used to be that the credit card companies were there lining up on campus, offering great sign-up deals and everything. You were saying they don't do that as much anymore.
Not as much anymore because it's more common now for kids to have credit cards. Parents want their kids to have a credit card for emergencies and to make sure. But again, a credit card, you know, again, students or adults learn the hard way sometimes. You still only have your $66 a week in that example to spend. So if you're using something on a credit card to pay for something, it comes off the $66 because the bill comes in, you've still got to pay it.
Yeah.
So just make sure that credit card, you don't see that as an endless pot of money that you can start spending over your $66 because it's not the case.
Okay, great advice for students. And in the next visit, you're going to be starting to answer viewer questions again. So we want to get those questions in. So email your finance questions to Dave at financefriday or financefriday at firstontario.com or through Twitter at finance_Friday. And if your question or topic is covered by Dave on air, you'll win a gift card from a local business in your community. Great to have you back.
Awesome. I look forward to get those viewer questions.